Welcome to the next lesson. Today we will learn about the CompareTo method for the string class. We'll begin by creating a new Java project. We'll call our project CompareTo and click the Finish button. Next we'll open the project and create a new class within the project, also called CompareTo, being sure to check the public static void main method. Next, we will minimize the package explorer, and then we'll begin by clearing out some of the junk. We don't need these comments, so let's get rid of them. Since this comment is already here, this is a good place to put your name in the program. Now, let's begin by first creating a string we'll call S1, and we'll give it an initial value of A. Next, we'll create a second string, which we'll call S2, with an initial value of B. Very well. Now we can set up and start experimenting with the CompareTo method. The first thing that we're going to want to do is realize that CompareTo returns an integer value. So we'll set up an integer, we'll call it result, and we'll say that it is equal to S1 compared to S2. Now, the question is, what values can result have? Well, we're only guaranteed 3 possible outcomes. We can test for them with a conditional set of statements. So we'll write an if that says, if result is, the first possibility is that it's less than 0. Result being less than 0 tells us that from an alphabetical, or more technically, lexicographical standpoint, that S1 comes before S2 The other possibility, or another possibility, is that result could be greater than 0, in which case we can say that S1 comes after S2. And there's really only one other possibility, so we can catch it with the else statement. Of course, if it's not less than 0 and it's not greater than 0, then it must be 0. In that case, what we have found out is that S1 is equal to S2. And of course, I've just realized that this will read better if I put some spaces in here. And now I am ready to run my program. A comes before B. Does C come before B? No, C comes after B. How about B and B? In which case, B is equal to B. Now, the interesting thing about a lexicographical comparison is that it is robust. For example, is BC before or after B? Well, BC comes after B. And, of course, AB comes before AC. Or, put another way, BC comes after AB. And furthermore, we can find out some other interesting facts about the lexicographical or CompareTo method. For example, how does AB and A1B compare? Which of these will come first? Well, according to the built-in CompareTo method, AB comes after A1B. To make this more explicit, let's just compare 1 and A. Which comes first? Well, 1 comes before A. And you might be wondering, what about lowercase and uppercase a? Well, in this case, a lowercase a, comes after an uppercase a, which means that Aaron will come after Aaron. And that pretty much covers everything you need to know about the CompareTo method, except what happens if you try to use it when one of your values is null. Let's see what that results in. As you can see, if one of your values is null, you get a null pointer exception. Let's try switching them and making the other value null. And again, we get a null pointer exception. You cannot do a CompareTo on something that doesn't exist. And making something equal to null is essentially saying it doesn't exist. Therefore, it's often a good idea to make sure that both your strings exist before you try to do a CompareTo. In this case, we could say if S1 is not null, and S2 is not null, then it's okay to go ahead and do our comparison. If, on the other hand, one of them is null, then we can do a system out to present that there's an issue. And running this, we see that that prevents our error from occurring. You now know everything you should need to know about the CompareTo method to complete finding a minimum or maximum value using strings. Thank you for watching.